Hello, good afternoon and welcome to JoyNews Room with me, Pius Kojobaka. We are coming to you live from our studios here in Kokomlimle. We are also live on DSTV channel 125 and around the world on myjoyonline.com. Coming up in the next 60 minutes, Volta Regional Minister describes devastation caused by coastal erosion in the southern part of the Volta region as a national security threat, calling for emergency interventions to curb the destruction. More as over 100 homes have been destroyed as the sea claims communities along southern Volta. Also in this bulletin, Foreign Ministry suspends the construction of passport application centers, the purchase of new vehicles and other projects as it grapples with a staggering 450 million cedis debt.
The debt situation is really frightening. The Foreign Ministry was not left out. I have also met colossal arrears of about 453 million Ghana cedis.
Plus, it is March and it is Ghana Month on Joy. Your superstation has unveiled interesting programs to commemorate the month, including an adventure in the Volta region.
No, it's going to be fun this March on Joy. Yes. I kid you not.
And when we are done with that, we come back for a kinky party.
Kinky with song.
Yes.
Squid.
Absolutely.
All the canons you can think about. The different kinds of pepper. I like those ones.
Boy.
We've got details of these and more lined up for you. Please stay. Thanks so much for staying on. A look now at our stories. The Volta Regional Minister, James Gunu, says the devastation caused by coastal erosion in the southern part of the Volta region is a security threat, calling for emergency interventions to curb the destruction and ensure the safety and well-being of residents in the affected communities. Speaking during the presentation of some relief items to the victims, he stated that government will prioritize the well-being of the people to mitigate the destruction caused by the sea. Over 100 homes have been destroyed as the sea claims communities along southern Volta. Here's a report.
Makafi Atai was born and raised up in the Agave community of the Ketu South municipality in the Volta region. Her home and survival are threatened by the devastations of coastal erosion, which continue to wash away her community. A recent incident left the community devastated as homes and cemeteries, among others, were affected. This is my father's house. I stayed here since infancy. The sea used to be some kilometers away, but in 2019, we started experiencing coastal erosions. We were at the roadside, far away from the sea, but the erosion had gotten to us. You see the sea hit the wall. It makes a loud noise, and then the wall collapses. It is having a psychological effect on us. The Volta Regional Minister, James Gunu, was left in shock after assessing the devastation caused.
Has actually made it a national security issue. Houses have been washed away, cemeteries are gone, and a lot of things, and the psychological trauma that the people are going through, including children and women, calls for urgent action. That is why we are here. Now that the road is also going, and from the look of things, communities and the land behind the road is far below sea level. So if nothing is done urgently and we allow the sea to cross the road continuously, the degree of devastation that we'll see cannot be contained.
In the interim, some relief items were presented to the over 510 victims affected by the recent disaster in the enclave. However, the residents appealed for the completion of the sea defense to protect their communities. We don't need rice or maize All we need is for them to complete the sea defense so we can be safe and take care of ourselves. A Ghana gas shelter project where about 15 units of 2-bedroom apartments are to be constructed has stalled. Residents are praying for its early completion to help in the proposed evacuation exercise. Fred Kwame Asari, JoyNews, Agaveji.
All right, so let's get to the Volta region and understand the situation much better. Let's get onto Zoom and speak to the lead NADMO person on the ground, Pascal Agbagba. Thanks so much, Pascal, for joining me on JoyNews Room. Now, which communities have been affected by the tidal wave so far in the Volta region, and how many people have been affected as well? Do we know?
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. As we speak currently, we have about 519 people affected, but in 3 separate communities. The communities are Amutinu, Salakope, and Agaveji.
So what support systems are in place for displaced residents, particularly in terms of housing, livelihood restoration, etc.?
There are about 380 people affected. Then in Salakope, you have about 31 people. We have 31 households and we have about 172 people. In Agaveji, we have 21 households and about 129. So when you put it together, you have about 519 people affected in 101 households. But yesterday, the situation was intense again. So it means that we have added new houses that have been washed away by the waves. And the sea has crossed the main road leading from Aplau to Keta. So as we speak now, the 509 figures, our guys are still on the ground, updating the figures. So it will go up and the number of households will go up. But in all these cases, the situation is more intense in Agaveji rather than the 2 other communities, Amutinu and Salako.
What is so peculiar about Agaveji, as you're saying, that the situation, is likely to, worsen in the coming days?
What we can say is that along the coastline, we realize that there are some places that are low-lying, rather comparatively to the others. So there is a sea defense ground that has been constructed up to a point in Agaveji. So it needed to be continuous. But because it has ended there, the intensity of the waves is hitting Agaveji people more than the other communities, leading to.
All right, so in the interim, what are you doing to support these persons living in Agaveji, for example, and other, likely affected areas as well?
Hello?
Pascal?
Yeah.
I am asking that in the interim, what measures have you put in place to ensure that persons living in Agaveji, for example, wouldn't feel the brunt of the tidal waves?
Yeah, on Friday, we were here. NADMO was here. The regional minister and the regional security council were here. NADMO National, they were here with relief items. We have given some form of relief to the people. But we think that it is not only about relief, but we needed to get a better place for the people to put up. So in the interim, we have some safe havens. One, we have the Zion KG. That has a nice place with toilet facilities, with water facilities. That will take care of some of the people. We have also secured a place at the community center. They are building a new community center, which is not fully complete. But it is a place that is nice for the people to also put up there. Beyond that, there's a project that has stalled across the road to the other side, which is a higher ground. That project was sponsored by Ghana Gas. It's supposed to be a 15-unit, 2-bedroom apartment for the people. But the project has stalled. When we push further, we were told that the contractor has abandoned site, even though the 2 million Ghana cedi that was allocated for the project, we were told by the district assembly that the money is intact. So they cannot assign any reason for which the contractor has abandoned site. So the regional minister is pushing hard, talking to Ghana Gas to make sure that either the contract is terminated and re-awarded, or either they get the contractor to come back to site to complete the project for the people.
Pascal Lagwagwa, thanks so much for that update. Here's the NADMO lead in the Volta region, updating us up to speed with the latest in relation to the tidal waves that have, impacted severely on residents in that part of the country. We shall follow up and give you updates in our subsequent bulletins. Do stay on with JoyNews. Away from that, a cardiologist at the Tamale Teaching Hospital, Dr. Abdul Yakubu, has revealed that the hospital recorded over 100 heart attack cases last year. He emphasized the challenges faced in managing these cases, including delayed patients' hospital visits and inadequate doctor interventions. Dr. Yakubu disclosed this at the 7th Annual General Scientific Meeting in Tamale.
Cardiovascular diseases are said to be on the rise in the country, especially in adults. It's against this backdrop that the Ghanaian Society of Cardiologists chose the theme Management of Cardio Emergencies, the Ghanaian Perspective for its 7th Annual General Scientific Meeting, highlighting the growing concern of cardiovascular diseases among adults. Speaking at the event, Dr. Yakubu emphasized the importance of sensitizing local communities to the need for early detection and treatment.
Showed that we had over a span of about 12 months, we had almost 100 cases of patients coming in with heart attacks, okay? And realized that one of the challenges we've had in managing these patients have been the timeliness of coming to hospital presenting, and then the appropriateness of the interventions that we give. There are so many challenges that we have at various strata of the healthcare system. And so we hope that the topic that we've chosen will be will drive home the message, okay, to all stakeholders that have interest in cardiovascular disease, that we can put our heads together in order to see how we can appropriately manage these conditions in our environment.
Let's look at your numbers and the fact.
The president of the Ghanaian Society of Cardiologists, Dr. Collins Koko, echoed this concern, stating that heart attack cases and related issues are common at the Parliamentary Teaching Hospital.
Our emergencies, for instance, at the Parliamentary Teaching Hospital, almost every day, and I'm saying almost every day, somebody will come in with a heart attack, somebody will come in with a stroke, somebody will come in with a condition that is described as cardiac emergencies, such as pulmonary embolism. So it's very prevalent. We don't have local studies here to talk about the prevalence rate, but we know they are so common. We are seeing them every day, and very soon we'll be able to put figures to get that, because we are doing a lot of studies.
The Northern Regional Director of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Abdullahi Abubakari, called for collaborative efforts to achieve Sustainable Development Goal 3.
Dr. Chair, we are aware that achieving the Sustainable Development Goal will be a difficult one without the full support, the commitment, and sacrifices of all including members of this noble and the society. Dr. Chair, colleagues, I am delighted that our discussion during this scientific meeting focuses on this critical agent evolution that is gradually shaping the health landscape in Ghana, and that is cardiovascular diseases. For me, this issue demands our collective attention, it demands our collective action, it demands our innovation towards addressing.
The meeting aimed to raise awareness about cardio emergencies and promote effective management strategies in Ghana. For JoyNews, I am Martina Bugri reporting.
Away from Tamale, the Foreign Ministry has suspended the construction of passport application centers, the purchase of new vehicles and other projects as it grapples with a staggering 450 million cedis debt. Despite the debt, JoyNews is also learning that Ghana's financial commitment to bodies like the ECOWAS, the African Union, the United Nations and others are in arrears. Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, who confirms this, says the development has led to severe expenditure measures that even affect him.
The debt situation, it's really frightening. And to answer your question directly, the Foreign Ministry was not left out. I have also met colossal arrears of about 453 million Ghana cedis, largely our access contributions to international organizations we belong to, and a number of projects started that have not been paid for.
So to explain for the understanding of our audience, what do you mean when you talk about these?
So access contributions, as members of international organizations such as ECOWAS, AU, UN, you have to pay up every year. And so it's called access contributions. We have huge arrears to clear. And
to the tune of
453 million Ghana cedis. That's huge. So in preparing the 2025 budget, we had to suspend a lot of projects. What my departments brought when we had our first management meeting, they wanted about 3.3 billion Ghana cedis, but we had to slash it looking at the arrear situation. We took out about 1 billion Ghana cedis. We've suspended all fiscal infrastructure in terms of the passport application centers we're supposed to construct this year so that we can clear the arrears. The president instructed us that we need to cut expenditure. So we've cut expenditure drastically. And some of those things that, we will often do, which can wait. We have said that, look, it has to wait. So we are not going to be purchasing any new vehicles for those of us at the top. No new vehicles for ministers, for chief directors, whether salon or V8s. We are cutting down on even the travel expenditure. No first class travels, and so we've really taken a hit, and I think that's how it has to be. If you look at the fact that our public debt now is in excess of 720 billion, and the president revealed yesterday that even with our commitments under the domestic debt exchange program, we have to be paying over 280 billion Ghana cedis over the next 4 years. And then your own ministry, you have this 453 million Ghana cedis that you need to clear. You can't continue with the same expenditure patterns as though it's business as usual. So we are really doing our best to make sure that we come out of the woods.
The minority in Parliament has refused to attend a 3-day orientation program for members of the House currently ongoing at the Volta Serene in Ho. According to the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagwin, the minority through a notice protested the cause of the event, hence their withdrawal. He described the decision as unfortunate for development of the country's democracy while addressing the opening ceremony of the orientation program.
We lost a very great opportunity because the turbulence of Parliament once again has shown. I only saw a WhatsApp message last night that our colleagues, our brothers and sisters of the New Patriotic Party have opted out, giving a reason that is completely unacceptable. There's good reason why we choose venues for this. It's not partisan. there's always a search party. And they go around, discuss with the various hospitalities, look at the cost components, the facilities, their suitability, the convenience of your movement, because there are other pressures on you. And there are score marks before we decide where to go. There's no partisanship in this at all. This time around, the parliamentary service followed the same. That is what is done. And the final results are brought to the Speaker. And until I have a very good reason why it shouldn't be at that place, I just give my approval. And to have 276 members of parliament and staff, because the staff work with you. And if you don't build the capacity of the staff, the institution, they will not be in the position to serve you, to provide what you need to be able to satisfy the immeasurable, unlimited demands of the country, of your people, and of the world. So it's usually a large number of people. The reason is that the cost component is too much. And they don't want to be part of that. We don't want to talk. Please don't allow your political differences to enslave you. Don't be also enslaved by our history. And that's one of the biggest challenges we have in this country. What our grandfathers did is what has enslaved us.
And to some other stories, to foster a culture of excellence and empower young pupils, the Ennobled Foundation has forged a partnership with Kimbo Senior High Technical School to launch a distinguished award for the outstanding home economics student. Jennifer August reports.
As a champion of student empowerment, the Ennobled Foundation provides tailored mentorship programs and educational initiatives that span various professional disciplines. Kimbo Senior Technical School, alma mater of the foundation's founder, Gloria Boy-Doku, who offered home economics during her time there, inspiring her to give back through this initiative.
I'm an old student of Kimbo. I graduated in 2000. I thought it's good to come back to encourage the home economics students as a chartered accountant now, even though I did home economics, to let them know that anything and everything is possible to the extent that they are focused and they know what will get them there. And the award, we are looking at awarding the best graduating student, either male or female, with a cash prize, and also add the person to our mentoring network.
Sylvia Lechete, headmistress of Kimbo Senior Technical School, welcomed the partnership, highlighting its alignment with the school's mission to promote academic distinction and empowerment.
For selecting will be WASI results, which is standardized, where we select the best home economics students, then we give the awards to that student to further his education. It's my desire that we should see Kimbo as one of the best schools in Ghana.
The Ennobled Foundation's partnership with the Kimbo Senior Technical School represents a significant milestone in promoting academic excellence and empowering pupils. Jennifer August report read to you.
ARB Apex Bank and the Association of Rural Banks in Ashanti region donated 160,000 cedis to support Hill Cath project. Now, the ARB Apex Bank Limited and the Association of Rural Banks in the Ashanti region have made the donation to the Hill Komfanochi project. Now, the Hill project aims at renovating the 70-year-old Tamale Teaching Hospital. Head of Corporate Affairs at the ARB Apex Bank, Maximus Atta, emphasized the importance of healthcare to the banking industry.
The ARB Apex Bank Limited, the supervisory body of rural and community banks in Ghana, contributed an amount of 50,000 Ghana cedis, while the 22 rural banks in the Ashanti region contributed 110,000 Ghana cedis, amounting to the total of 160,000 Ghana cedis to the Hill Cath project. CAT head of the Public Affairs Department, Kwame Frimpong, appreciating the gesture, revealed that 1 out of 4 blocks under rehabilitation is almost complete.
We finished with Ward A3, A4, and then A5. We are now about moving to Ward A1 and A2, all in the A block of the hospital. We've not touched Block B, we've not touched Block C, and we've not touched Block D. So even for the donations that have come, we are about finishing work on just 1 block.
He added that the donations will greatly contribute to the mobilization of resources for the Hill Cath project.
So this 160,000 Ghana cedis from 22 rural banks in Ashanti region and the ARB Apex Bank will go a long way to help us in the resource mobilization towards this project. We believe that if everybody would emulate this example, we would be in a position to raise enough funds to complete the project in a short time. And so it's something that we appreciate a lot. It will help us to continue the project and believe that it sets as a good example for other institutions and individuals to follow suit.
Head of Corporate Affairs at the ARB Apex Bank, Maximus Atta, emphasized the importance of healthcare to the banking institution.
A large chunk of our CSR budget is dedicated to healthcare. So we decided that we need to come and support this worthy cause, which is why we came together with the Association of Rural Banks, Ashanti chapter. 22 of the banks in the region contributed a total amount of 110,000 Ghana cedis. And ARB Apex Bank, which is the mini regulator of the rural and community banks in Ghana, which is the mini regulator of the 147 rural banks in the country, decided to top up with 50,000 Ghana cedis for this landmark project, which we believe is dear to the heart of Nana Asantehene Osei Tutu II, which he believes he wants to leave us a legacy for his 25th anniversary celebrations. This is why we are here, because we believe also at ARB Apex Bank that a healthy workforce is critical to the productivity and prosperity of the nation Ghana. So we are here today and we are happy with what we have seen so far that has been done with the donations so far made.
President of the Association of Rural Banks Ashanti Region, Ben Kwachi Adiefe, hopes that the donation will reduce the pressure on the hospital and help effectively in the rebuilding efforts.
Confanoche, as we know, heals many patients, those from the northern belt, the southern belt, and the middle belt, of course. And for that matter, there is almost always pressure on the facilities which have been used over the years. We are very much sure that management will utilize whatever donations that we have given equitably in terms of the areas that they intend renovating. We want to hope that whatever that we have given out to them will be used to cater for those areas to improve facilities that are used.
CAT says their commitment to the project remains unwavering with the support from the public. Reporting for JoyNews, my name is Arabna Akwe.
So watching Joy Newsroom, we have more for you after this break. Hello, welcome back to Joy Newsroom. The Tree Crops Development Authority has expressed deep concern over the encroachment of 910 acres of government land at the Winchi Agricultural Station in the Bono region, a critical research center supporting Ghana's cashew industry. The land, originally designated for cashew seedling production and agricultural research, has been taken over by private individuals and groups, leaving less than 300 acres available for use. Here's a report.
The Wenchi Agricultural Station plays a crucial role in Ghana's cashew industry by providing high-quality seedlings, conducting research, and offering technical support to farmers. As a leading agricultural research center, it helps safeguard cashew production by improving crop resilience and boosting yield. During its familiarization tour of the Bono region, the acting chief executive officer of the Tree Crop Development Authority, Dr. Andiose Okra, was confronted with the alarming reality of land encroachment, which threatens not only cashew research, but also the long-term sustainability of the tree crop farming in Ghana.
You could see that this station is one of the strategic stations for agric, and especially for the cashew in the region and the whole country. And I think that a strategic asset like it, we need to protect it. I think we are in a country where we don't value research, and that's what is causing these. This is what has been dedicated, demarcated for research. It's a station for a strategic asset for the nation. So any private individuals, we believe in other development, but then you cannot encroach into a strategic national asset like this. So from what the station manager is saying, I think we are also going to inform our bosses. I'll let the Minister of Food and Agriculture get to know about this. I'm sure he also get to His Excellency the President and all those that matters to come in, so that a strategic asset like that we need to protect right from 900 getting to 300.
Deputy Station Manager Bright Sapon said such encroachment will have serious consequences for agricultural research in Ghana.
Our main challenge that we have at this station is about encroachment. As you can see, people have started building, and private developers are around building and doing their own things. So we plead if the government can help us protect the land for the station, because the station serves as a research center for people to come in and learn. And as you can see, planting materials are being multiplied for farmers and stuff. So if the encroachments are still ongoing, they will take all our land and we cannot develop. So if the government can come in and help us to prevent the encroachers about our land. Initially, my boss wrote letters to the MC, Nananom and stuff. But Nananom told us that they have no hands in selling the land. So for me, I think the district assembly are part of those releasing the land for people to develop.
The Tree Crop Development Authority says it will collaborate with relevant authorities to ensure that this land is recovered and protected for future agricultural development.
You're still watching Joy Newsroom with me, Pius Kojo Baka. Pretty soon we shall connect to the Ashanti region, where President John Mahama is expected to hold a clergy meeting, prayer session, I'm told, with the great men of God there. We shall connect to that part of the country as and when we do have the live feed. But let's take this story. The 75th anniversary celebration of Accra Technical University has reignited discussions on the need to disconnect between academic training and industry needs. Now, speaking at the event, the Gamancheni Takite Kuchuru II emphasized the urgent need for stronger collaboration between government, academia, and industries to equip graduates with relevant skills.
A key concern raised during the 75th anniversary of the Accra Technical University was the disconnect between academic training and industrial requirement. Many students, especially from technical and vocational institutions, struggle to secure employment because their skills do not always match evolving industry standards. Speaking at the event, the Gamanche Ni Takite Kocho II emphasized that collaboration between government, academia, and industries is crucial in closing this gap.
I call on government, since the representative of the minister, Dr. Newman, you are here. On the government and industry stakeholders to intensify their technical and vocational educational support. Together, we must enhance collaboration between academia and industry, ensuring that graduates possess skills that match contemporary industrial needs, thus giving our economic transformation a boost.
Representing the Minister for Education, the Director in charge of Tertiary at the Ministry of Education reaffirmed the government's commitment to supporting technical institutions in fulfilling their mandate.
This, I'm going to say, since the minister took over as minister, has been saying this all the time. It's a subject to the laws of this country. The Education Regulatory Bodies Act, Procurement Act, Financial Regulations Act, the Tenka Universities Act. The government will ensure unfettered autonomy and academic freedom in our tertiary institutions and support tertiary education institutions to fulfill their respective mandates. I didn't hear any applause. To this end, I entreat you to come up with innovative ideas and adopt the best practices in teaching research for socio-economic transformation of our dear nation.
The acting Vice Chancellor of the institution, achievement of the university over the years.
Let's now go to Kumasi, where President Mahama is expected to join hundreds of members of the clergy at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology today at 2 p.m. for the Ashanti Region edition of his Mama Worships with the Clergy event. Let's go live now to my colleague Nana Boachi Dankwa Yadom for a quick update on what we are supposed to expect today at 2 p.m. Nana Boachi, walk us through what to expect.
The Republic, President John Dramani Mahama is expected to engage the clergy. This is the second time the president will be engaging the clergy in the Ashanti region. He did this some couple of weeks ago after he was sworn in as President of the Republic. This time around, after he did the same event, or had the same event in the Greater Accra region with the clergy, the president is back to the Ashanti region to engage with the regional clergy. I can see here a number of clergymen who are seated awaiting the arrival of the President, John Dramani Mahama, members from the Pentecostal Church and members from the Apostolic Church, Reverend Fathers, who are all seated here awaiting the arrival of the President, John Dramani Mahama. On my left and on my right are seats filled with clergymen who are here to participate in today's event, where we would have His Excellency the President worship with the clergy and other members of the Christian community in the Ashanti region. And this is going to be another time for the President to have a serious engagement with the clergy people to reiterate all his commitment to the Christian fraternity. He did same in Accra over the week, where he reiterated his commitment to stand with the Christian community, especially when it comes to conversations around the LGBTQ bill. He did say the last time when he was in Kumasi, we're also expecting him to make mention of all these things that will make the Christian community much excited. I'm here with a member of the Ashanti Regional NDC executive team, and he's going to talk to us about what the president is going to at least mention, and also some of the things that we should expect of him as he worships with the clergy in the Ashanti region. I mean, we're expecting the president to be in shortly. At exactly 2 p.m., he'll be being told. What are some of the things that you believe that the president is going to touch on when he starts to engage with the clergy today?
Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to your viewers. As you clearly know, this is Mahama fellowshipping with the clergy. And before the elections, he had a similar program with the clergy, where he actually promised that he needed their support in terms of prayers. And as you remember, we saw the clergy laying their hands on him and praying for him that God should grant him the victory. It is only important that you go back to where you started from to say thank you. And he believes that the body is the temple of God. So the Spirit of God dwells in the body of humans. So he believes that he should come back and thank God for the victory that he has given him. And remember, he won with almost about 1.7 million votes, very historic. So he believes that this victory is divine, and that is why it is very important for him to come back to the blessings of God, so that God will direct him his path. So that if you look at the economy that he has inherited, it's something that you and I know that it is really, really in a mess. And I'm also expecting him to talk about the LGBTQ plus issue that he believes that it should become a family value rather than somebody pushing it as a private membership bill. And I know that you followed the discussion when he worshipped the clergy in Accra. where he made mention of the government rather than an individual pushing for the family value bill, which to me, the credit should go to the government, but not any private individual. So I believe that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama coming here, he did the same in Accra. It's very important that he does the same in Ashanti region.
Thank you very much. Your name and your portfolio?
My name is Joshua Kwame Fuga. I'm a member of the Inter-Party and CSOs Committee. The Inter-Party and CSOs Committee is a committee set up by the party to deal with other civil society organizations.
Thank you very much. And just as you heard him, we're expecting the president to be in shortly. Most of the things that we expect the president to touch on are matters that are of necessity to the Christian community. And I have, you can see my shot, the newly elected member of the Council of State representative for the Ashanti region. I'd want to engage him shortly. We're expecting the president to be here to engage with the Christian community. As a member of the Council of State, what are some of the things that you expect the president to touch on?
One is employment. The seriousness is the employment. The way our youth is taken in charge, the best thing you should do is that the president must tackle employment. That is the first thing you should tackle it. I'm praying. When I'm praying that the president should tackle the youth employment first. That's the first thing.
And that is all that you're expecting him to make mention of today?
That is the best thing I want. That is the best thing. One, God guidance. Without God, we can't do anything. That's why we are here. So I'm praying that after the prayers, the only thing president can do, which will certify the whole country, is the youth employment.
All right, thank you very much. And he is the Ashanti regional representative of the Council of State, and you just heard him briefly that for him what he's expecting the president to really touch on when he gets to the podium to engage with the clergy is to make mention of issues of employment. For him, that's the best way that he can touch the hearts of the Ghanaian people. And also guest speaker for this event is here. We also want to hear from him what message he's also going to give to the Christian community, and even the message that he's going to deliver today for His Excellency the President. Reverend, I know that you're just waiting to deliver your sermon today. And what is the most important thing that your sermon is going to look at in terms of this particular engagement with the president?
I'm going to look at appreciating God, showing gratitude to God as a nation, and also on behalf of the president. We are just coming away from a peaceful general election, and we don't have to cede our victory and the peace and the stability the nation is enjoying to maybe the strategies that we put in place to ensure a peaceful election, but the hand of God that has brought us this far as a nation.
As guest speaker, we expect that your message is not just going to be directed to the president alone, and even for him to, or about his direction with the country, but you're going to also look at how he's also going to run the affairs of this country. What is your topmost priority when it comes to some of the things that the president has mentioned?
Actually, my message is going to center on thanksgiving, appreciation to God as a nation for what He has done for us. You look around the Africa and then even the sub-region, see that many people, they go to election and they come up with problems, they come up with troubles, there are wars all around. But it seems that Ghana has been an island of peace. So my message is going to center on our gratitude to God, not directly to the president, but as a nation, how we have to render our gratitude to God.
And if the president takes the podium, what are you expecting him to say, or some of the words that you expect him to touch on that is also going to touch the hearts of the Christian community?
All right, what I want the president to talk about is the unity of the nation. Normally, when we go to elections, because of the political electioneering campaigns, the nation is divided on political lines. But I want to see the president bring the nation together to a message of peace to the nation and the people of Ghana.
Please, your name and then your church.
My name is Reverend Apostle Yao, a J. in Church of Pentecost. I'm the area head of Kwadasu.
Thank you very much, Apostle Yaweje Patins from the Church of Pentecost, and he is the guest speaker today as the president worships or fellowships with the clergy in the Ashanti region. The Christian community has not been left out when it comes to President John Dramani Mahama's commitment running the affairs of the country. He has reiterated that occasionally, and he has always made mention of how he's going to run the affairs of the country with the Christian community, with the clergy. And you can see that all the clergymen are seated, members from the Christian community are all seated here waiting for the arrival of the president, and then they are going to worship with him. They are not just clergymen who are seated here. You can see party supporters, party faithfuls who are also seated here today. We are all waiting for the arrival of His Excellency the President. I can tell you that at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, the Great Hall to be precise, it's tight security over here, and we are just waiting for the president to come. His arrival, then we get to hear his message and the message of the Christian community. I mean, we are waiting for the president's arrival. What is your expectations today when it comes to the message the president is going to deliver?
Yeah, I am expecting the president, when he came into power, and what he's doing right now is very marvelous, especially in the area of bringing the youth into leadership. I really admire it. It shows that the president has a future and is taking this country to a very great future. Because for a man, a president like that, to bring the youth.
And I'm having that great interaction with great men of God there at KNUST, where President Mahama is expected to engage the clergy as part of his Mahama worships with the clergy. We shall bring you more in our subsequent bulletins. Away from that, it is March, and of course, it's Ghana Month on Joy. Your superstation will explore the inspiration behind some of Ghana's traditional clothes, Adinkra symbols and their meanings, traditional foods, and many more each day in March. From the 21st to 23rd March 2025, we go on a trip with our lovely listeners away from Accra to some of Volta region's most iconic tourist sites. According to Programs Manager Edem Naite, patrons of Joy FM's Volta Adventure will tour the Kwando View Zipline, Tefi Atome Monkey Sanctuary and Cultural Village, Mount Gemi, and of course Amejope Waterfalls, among others. She also noted that there will be various recreational activities at the Volta Serene Hotel where the tourists will be accommodated. Now, this trip costs 3,500 cedis to cover transportation, accommodation, and food. Here is Edem Naite.
So we do the Taffy Monkey Sanctuary. From the Monkey Sanctuary, we drive straight to Volta Serene.
Volta Serene
That's where we
Hotel.
are lodging. We're lodging at Volta Serene Hotel for 2 nights.
Okay.
So that first night, we'll have the whole welcome thing, the coconut, and the cultural welcome and all that. Then we will have dinner. A lot of akpala. Like you remember the akpala and the you have banku. A lot of indigenous,
Have you forgotten the dance before the dinner?
Yeah, it's gonna happen. All of that. So a lot of indigenous foods will be available for us to have dinner. Then when we are done with dinner, we will have the bobobo nights. Proper bobobo nights. Yeah, those who have 2 left legs, no worry. Like Lexus, we'll get to learn how to dance bobobo that night.
Your line is breaking.
After the bobobo night, we can retire. I'm sure by which time we'll be tired, so people will go and rest in their cozy Volta Serene beds, right? Yeah. Then we'll wake up the next morning. We'll do breakfast. After breakfast, we get on board our buses and then straight to Gemi.
Mount Gemi.
We'll do Mount Gemi.
Okay.
From Mount Gemi, we go to the Amejope Waterfalls. And we get to, get dives. I remember last year's waterfalls. Where did we? Which of?
Oh, that was also in the Kapim Enclave there.
Yeah, last year when we did the camp, it was so beautiful. I'm like, oh God, I didn't go with any swimming costume. Like, I was amazed at how people got into the falls. You know. So we'll do that at Amejope, and then there's also a canopy walk there. We'll do the canopy walk as well.
Okay.
Then when we are done with, plus lunch.
Okay.
And then we will come back to the hotel. And that's the night I am looking forward to. Ask me why.
What's happening?
Hey, yeah. So when we come back to the hotel, Volta Serene, they have a very big game room.
Yeah.
So you can come with the children, even yourself. When we come back, we'll make sure we come back a bit early so that you can have time at the game room. You want to relax and all that. But in Reno, the nightclub.
Oh boy.
With DJ Black Play.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have a whole nightclub because they have a well set up nightclub.
Wow.
And we will be there that evening. And then there will be a movie night. So those of you who don't really want to dance, you can go and watch a movie. Or if you want to sleep, that is you. I am not done. When we wake up in the morning on Sunday,
That's Sunday morning.
yes, we have breakfast, and then they go like, oh, it's done. We are heading back to Accra. No, once we get to Atimpuku, we take a right turn. We're going to Dodi.
Oh, the Dodi Princess?
Oh yes, we'll be on the ferry. Wow. We'll have lunch on the ferry with live band and all the fun activities you can think about before we head back home to Accra. And I haven't talked about all the giveaways that are going to be on the trip. Last year we gave out a lot of fabrics and all of those. So it's going to be a fun packed trip. Ask me how much.
Well, let me just guess, because for 2 nights stay at Volta
and everything inclusive, breakfast, lunch, dinner, Dodi, all the tours, everything.
Not less than $500.
No,
that's circa 7K or something.
Oh, how?
Your bag.
Half it, 3,500.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's all.
But the weekend after that, we're doing the Accra High Street walking tour. Now, there's so many amazing tourist attractions on the Accra High Street. And I'm talking from the Christian Borg Castle, that's Osu Castle, to the Independence Square, the Black Star Square, the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum, all the way down to the lighthouse on the Jamestown, that area. Now, we're putting together a special day. One morning, we're all going to converge at the Osu Castle and take a tour of all these amazing places on foot. Yes.
I've started my exercise.
So, even though it's great exercise, it's not just a walk where you're walking for fitness only. You're walking to these tourist sites like the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum, there's the Asumdie Park, the Christian Borg Castle. And I'm excited about this because there's a lot of history on that street.
No, it's going to be fun this March on Joy. Yes. I kid you not.
And when we are done with that, we come back for a Kenke party.
Kenke with song.
Yes.
Squid.
Absolutely.
All the cannas you can think about. The different kinds of pepper. I like those ones.
Boy, oh boy.
And next is I will be leaving in the next 1 minute, right? And then on the 15th of March, Showbiz A to Z, they usually would go around to have tourism conversations. We've done Cape Coast, Kumasi, Volta region. This year we are doing it in Accra. So the focus will be on the Ga people. And that's going to come up also on the 15th. Then we have our focus on Ghana activities coming up. Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, Monday, Tuesdays and Thursdays on Joy FM. We'll brief you. We'll give you all the details. So this Ghana month, you want to follow us and learn so much more.
I am Pius Kujo Baka. For more stories, do log on to myjoyonline.com/business. The law is next. Stay on.